think we're all going to have different answers and kind of give, different love to maybe individual players. So which player do you think deserves to get talked about more, maybe outside of Cade Cunningham or Jaden Ivey?
Wes, do you want to go first? I just don't want to steal your answer. I always do on our show, so I'm gonna give you the floor here.
All right. Well, hopefully I don't steal yours then. But you know what? I'm going to go with Ron Holland just because he's already getting a decent amount of conversation. He's the rookie, he's the shiny new toy. But I've just been so impressed with how he's come in and the way he's approached the start of the season. It's not just that he's playing really well, he is, but I think he's playing really well the right way. He's taking shots that he should be taking. He's making the right defensive reads more often than not. He's making unselfish one more passes. He's probably one of the best one more passers on the roster right now as a 19-year-old rookie. And, he's, obviously incredible athlete. He's a good finisher. He creates a little bit for himself in the half court and in transition, and defensively he's all over the court. So he's fun to watch, but just the fact that he's 19, he's fun to watch because he's got all those tools and he's playing the right way. I've been so impressed. I wasn't expecting someone that raw to look this, not quite polished, but have the decision-making side of things look almost polished. So I think he just needs a big shout out. I've been so impressed with him.
Yeah, I agree with Holland. I'll definitely give another answer, but with Holland, I've been impressed.
Did I steal it?
No, I was gonna talk about someone else. So there we go. But yeah, Holland, I've been super impressed. Just on top of that, I think he plays with great energy too. Like if I can take anything away from just looking through the screen, it looks like he almost has a look in his eye that like he wants to go out and get you. He's not scared of really any defensive assignment, like going at anyone, which is pretty impressive for a rookie. And after he missed those free throws against Milwaukee, which made the game go into overtime and the Pistons ended up losing, like he came out against Toronto, made a ton of effort plays and played really well.
Best game of the year.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that hindered him, which honestly, I didn't think it would. It was a huge learning experience. So I'm really impressed with him as well. He obviously still needs some time, but I think especially with Asar Thompson out, like I was questioning what Ron Holland's role would be going into the season, but I think after 14 games, he's definitely played his way into like, you have to give me minutes, and that's what rookies need to do. So I'm just impressed with him overall. I like how even though a lot of the shots don't go in, he's not afraid to take them. The game against Toronto was a little like, no, maybe you shouldn't take some of these, but overall, I like that he's not. It doesn't seem like he's getting in his own head or anything, and he seems like he's growing game over game.
Real quick, just to that, against Toronto in the second half, he actually did. He turned down a couple because and instead chose to drive and made a couple of nice plays out of it. So even in game, the kid's adjusting. It's fantastic. 19 in the NBA, unreal.
Yeah.
Cool.
You want me to go with mine, or did you have any Ron Holland? Okay. So I feel like this player is talked about a lot, so it might be a cheating answer. I was going to go with someone a little more under the radar, but I feel like Malik Beasley just deserves to be talked about so much, like similar to what I was saying about Ron Holland, just what Beasley brings to this team as a veteran who you brought in on a 1-year deal, very affordable contract. Like, what he brought in terms of shooting, but he just seems like a true leader, and he just plays so animated with the shimmies and everything he does, which I love. I feel like the Pistons have like needed a player like that. And after Cade's triple-double streak and the win in Atlanta where Cade got his first game winner, the Pistons social team released that video of Malik in the locker room, like giving Cade the game ball and giving a speech around it. So I feel like Johnny Kane said on one of the broadcasts that Beasley is the heart and soul of the team. And obviously everything goes through Cade, but I kind of agree with that. And heading into the season, I was like, this guy fills a need. He's a real NBA player, which they needed to go out and target. But like, if things go wrong during the season, is he a candidate to get traded at the deadline to a contender? And now I'm just like, you got to do what you can to keep this guy in Detroit. Like, he's only 27 years old, and pay him a little bit more money to stay. And it feels like he wants to be here too. So I just love watching Malik Beasley play, and I'm super impressed with what he's done so far.
Yeah, I was gonna say Malik Beasley. Shout out to Unk. Don't call him Unk. He gets mad. Because Bobby Clipman called him Unk first day, which is absolutely wild. But
I love that.
I'm going to go with the player that has stepped up recently, and that's Wendell Moore Jr.
That was my other one. That was my under the radar one.
He's been impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been so impressed with him because when we traded in the draft to select Bobby Clipman, he was just kind of like, a lot of Pistons fans were like, oh, he's just a throw-in piece. They'll probably waive him this summer, get someone else, but he's filled in as Simone of Fontecchio has kind of like dealt with that foot injury. Defensively, I really like the way he's playing. He kind of reminds me of like a Bruce Brown light in a sense, where he's just kind of everywhere, can defend, really good at. He had a couple of plays yesterday where he was cutting to the basket, grabbing rebounds. He had one play where Cade wasn't paying attention and he dove on the floor for the ball and called the timeout. Like,
saved the turnover.
I love it, man. Like, I just love the energy, and to have a guy like that at kind of the end of your bench, I think is a luxury.
Yeah, and like you talk about guys improving, right? Wendell Moore did not look very good in Summer League. He did not look very good in the preseason. And he's just continued to kind of develop back, behind closed doors. And here he is in injury relief when the team really needs him. And he's a guy that steps up. I mean, big time. You need a shout out for that. I like the Bruce Brown comp too. I think I like that a lot. I think that's pretty good. He's been impactful. It's been fun.
Yeah. I was intrigued by Wendell Moore when the trade happened to bring him in, just because he was a guy who came out of Duke as a junior and showed he had like the frame and I guess the skills of a guy who would make a lot of money in the NBA, but just because of his college career, it didn't shake out that way. And where he landed in Minnesota, he just didn't really have the opportunity. I wondered if he was going to get that opportunity with the Pistons. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a true everyday rotation piece in the long run, but like you said, having a guy like that on the end of your bench is a luxury as well. And especially for someone that a team was just simply trying to get off his money, and he's been impactful when he's needed to be called upon for the Pistons.
I mean, his job, right, is just to make life really hard for JB Bickerstaff and Trajan Langdon, right? If he keeps playing really well, a 6'5", strong kind of wing player who can shoot the ball and plays defense like that, make it hard not to play him. He's still young, he's still improving. Make it hard not for Trajan Langdon not to trade away a veteran that's ahead of him because he's pushing really hard for minutes. Like, he's doing his job, he's doing it really well. And you just, you love to see guys step up and kind of have an impact like that and improve their games like that and show out when they're called upon on, teams like the Pistons that are rebuilding. That's kind of, I don't know, that's one of the more fun storylines that can always come out of seasons like this. So I'm glad we're getting one so early.
Yeah, because I remember Pistons. You know how Pistons fans are on Twitter. As soon as we make the trade, they're like, "Who is that? Never heard of him." Like, we're probably gonna waive him.
Right.
And him and Marcus Sasser were so huge last night. I thought those two, when they came in, second
against the
third
Bucks
quarter,
too.
Yeah. I mean, like, just playing like really good, solid minutes, and those are guys at the end of the bench don't get a whole lot of burn, a whole lot of playing time, but next man up mentality, and I absolutely love that.